So I've been playing Ghost Recon Wildlands for the last little while here, and I gotta say, it's alright. So let's talk about this game a little bit. Not a review, of course. I don't usually do reviews, as most people would, I would assume, know at this point. I just kind of talk about my experiences with games and things. So the open beta's going, and if you want to try it right now, you absolutely can. I would recommend doing that if you were considering at all playing this game, because right now is obviously the best time to get your little demo in. That's pretty much what open betas are at this point. They really are mostly demos. So I played this game for about 2 hours last night, did a bunch of stuff, and for the most part, it's fine. It's not anything super special or anything. It feels like when I'm playing Ghost Recon Wildlands, it feels like I'm doing everything I've done in every other Ubisoft game ever. And I know that's like a meme at this point, or a joke, but it feels like everything I did during my time playing it, I had done in another game in some form or another, whether it be Far Cry 3, or something like even Grand Theft Auto 5, or some other like stealth games or anything like that. There wasn't really an original bone in its body. And I'm not someone who's super into the Ghost Recon franchise or anything like that. I have a bit of experience with some of the various games that have been released, but it's a franchise that has kind of jumped around different genres of third-person shooters quite a bit. There's been free-to-play games, of course, pure stealth games, and now an open-world one with a big focus on co-op gameplay and online stuff. In this video, I was mostly just doing some like single-player stuff. The single-player is basically like co-op, except your squad mates are AI, and for the most part, they're competent enough. I think there's a thing in the game where if you're playing with AI, then they won't be seen by the enemies if you're in stealth still, like if no one's noticed you, so that's nice, because I could see that being extremely annoying if their pathfinding goes super stupid. For the most part, though, I'm just very whelmed with this game. It's not doing anything that I haven't seen before. It's got a couple glaring issues with it that I've seen. The driving mechanics, for one, are really, really bad. Like, this is the worst driving mechanic I've used in a video game since the original Watch Dogs, which, if you played that, you would kind of know that when you were driving in that game, especially with the keyboard and mouse, I don't know how it was with the controller, I never tried it like that, but using the keyboard and mouse in that game, it felt like your wheels were either straight or they were, like, super turned in one direction or the other. There was no in-between, right? And it felt super snappy, but not in a good way. Like, you don't want snappy when you're driving a car. It doesn't really feel too good. And in this game, it's even worse. So when you're turning a corner, you end up going at like a super crazy angle when you're doing it. It feels like when you go forward, the car goes like twice as fast as you want it to go in most scenarios. It got to the point where, I swear to God, there were points where I was trying to back up and then my car just went forward instead. It's really weird, and that needs to be sorted out, because it's not fun to drive in this game, especially if you're using a mouse and keyboard, because there's a lot of corners that are, like, gradual, because you're out in kind of the wilderness in a lot of it, so you can't really take the corners the way you want to, and it's very difficult to drive like a human being, you know? You end up really feeling like it's very arcadey and stuff, and it doesn't go with the game, because the game itself takes itself extremely seriously for the most part. In fact, the only real humor in the game I really found was in the radio personalities and stuff, so yeah, it feels weird, I think is the best way to describe the driving mechanics and the tone of the game as well. Overall, the stealth mechanics work fine. The gunplay is fine. Again, it's nothing that you haven't seen before in any game. It's got the Watch Dogs 2 drone mechanic where you go and scope things out, but then it kind of feels like you're running around in like Far Cry maps and stuff, and you like go and see little packs of enemies that are gathered around things, then you tag supplies that are littered around the map so you can get like bonuses and stuff. You level up and you level up like your accuracy, you get a couple little different things you can do. This was a cool mechanic right here, where my character was basically just going around and getting new missions by finding intel scattered around the map. And it's kind of neat, because in the map, there are civilian areas and stuff, right? But they can still have enemies and things in them, and you need to avoid them as best you can, and then, like, rebels will engage them and things and try to drive them out. That can make what you're trying to do, like, go to all hell and things like that. So, it's got some interesting mechanics. It's literally just, they're all mechanics that have been in other games before, so it doesn't really make me want to play this game anymore, because there's nothing that's driving me to it that I couldn't just go play Watch Dogs or Far Cry for. Yeah, it's not gonna be a huge seller, I don't think. I think that if you really liked The Division, you might like this game. I can't say if that's for certain. I never even played The Division. I didn't really get super interested in it. I didn't play that beta. If it even had a beta, I didn't really look into that. I heard that The Division has a lot of bullet sponginess to it. This game doesn't. You know, it kind of goes for a more pseudo-realistic thing, so you shoot a guy like maybe 3 times at the maximum, and then he dies in my experience, so that's kind of nice and stuff, but overall, it's a Ubisoft game. It's exactly what you think it's gonna be right before you start playing it. I will say that it does everything it does very well. There's nothing other than some of the AI interactions that screams really dumb to me. The AI, like civilians and stuff, they don't really act very, like, human-like at all. I threw a grenade by someone at a fruit stand, and she didn't care. She just kind of, like, let it explode beside her. Didn't move or anything. And then she just kept selling her fruit. Maybe that happens super often, though. Maybe people throw grenades like dodgeballs in this part of the world, in Bolivia, or wherever this specific map is set. I don't know. But the AI does seem like it could use a bit of work to it. I've seen some of these sicarios. I think that's what these drug dealers are called. They, like, point their guns at the civilians, but the civilians don't care, and they just keep walking. It's really odd. I don't know, that could be worked on, the driving mechanics could be worked on, but overall, if you like The Division, if you liked Far Cry, and you really want more of all the stuff you got in those games, then by all means, you might really enjoy this. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews for it. It kind of goes back to that thing where, even though I might not be interested in this game because I've played a lot of open world games and I just don't think it's a good value for my money, I feel like I could be spending my time elsewhere. If you're the type of person that buys like 3 games a year and needs something that has a ton of stuff to do, I think this game's going to have a lot to offer you because it's got a lot of stuff to do. So it's not like you're going to play a 4-hour campaign and then be like, oh, well, I have a multiplayer TDM to go play, and that's kind of it. So maybe that'll appeal to you more, and if it does, and if you're playing this game, you really enjoy it, that's cool, fine. Everyone's got their own preferences, but for me, it's like, it's meh. I ain't gonna be going and buying this game, I don't think. I kind of got everything I wanted out of it in the beta, and that's where I stand. I don't know. This game is whelming. Not over, not under, it's exactly what I thought it would be. Is that a good thing, though? I don't know. You decide. Anyways, though, that's going to do it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give this video a like, I'd be super appreciative. If you want to continue the discussion, I have my own Discord server that you are more than welcome to join. A lot of good people over there. If you want to support my channel, I would really appreciate that. That would be super awesome. You can do that in 2 ways. If you're watching on VidMe, leave a tip, I would appreciate that. Or you can go over to my Patreon, throw $1 a month, that would be super awesome. And I'll love you forever. I am PattyJack, and I will see you guys next time. Have a wonderful day.